It's yet a great, beautiful afternoon right here on your favorite station, Galaxy Radio, Radio Flora with DJ Nyamz, and it's the Vault, where we talk to different guests from different parts of the world doing different things, and we look at different topics. And today, this afternoon, I'm joined in by Tina Masawi. Tina, it's a great good afternoon. How are you doing?
How are you doing, Tafasawa? I'm good. How are you?
hmm Fantastic. Tina, you're a musician, you're based in
Yes,
Spain, and
yes,
you're from Zimbabwe. So now maybe
yes.
let's start from part. I want to understand maybe who's Tina? Where did Tina grow up? When you grow up, what do you want to be? You know, and we just go step by step.
Okay, cool. So my name is Tina Masawi from Harare, Zimbabwe.
hmm
I grew up in Harare, born and raised until I was about 21 years old. And then I moved to South Africa briefly to do musical theater,
hmm
which is where I started actually singing right after I left high school. And then I got an opportunity to come to Spain after a contract
hmm
in South Africa. And then I just took the opportunity and I came here and I've
Okay,
been here ever since. Yeah.
okay. So now let's go back.
Mhm.
When you're growing up, what did you want to be? Because I know dreams evolve, from primary to high school. What were the things that you wanted to be? Like when you're in primary, when you go to high school,
Yeah.
before you go to the whole music thing?
You know what? The most surprising thing is I've always wanted to be a singer of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
For as long as I remember, I liked to sing,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't sure if I was really good at it. So I wasn't very vocal about wanting
Mm-hmm.
to be a singer because I didn't know how you would do it, how,
Mm-hmm.
but then I guess I found my way. So I'm very, very grateful.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How do you eventually find your way in this whole singing?
Ooh,
Were you
by
in
a
the
lot of
school? Were you in a school choir? Were you in a church choir? Did you perform in concerts? What was it like?
Okay, so I actually, when I was in high school, I was in the drama club a lot. I
Mm-hmm.
was more of an actor
Mm-hmm.
um, than a singer.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was when I started going to Reps Theatre. I think right after I left high school, I decided let me join Reps Theatre and do some productions there.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, I started singing and doing the music. And then I started performing in some bands, just as an extra, doing whatever involved music. I tried to
Mm-hmm.
get into it. And that's how it grew. And, word of mouth, people
Mm-hmm.
start talking about you like, I know this girl, she can do this. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and it just never stopped.
Okay. Now when you
hmm
look at our society and community, in Africa, parents expect kids to do things like be an accountant, be a doctor,
hmm
be a teacher and everything. How was it for your parents, allowing you to explore the theater and the arts, sector?
Yeah, they were very open, I think. My
Mm-hmm.
mom, she likes to sing. They love music anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my parents were very open-minded. So they just kind of let me be, which is very rare,
Mm-hmm.
for for African parents. But I have to say I was very, very blessed. So they were supportive in
Mm-hmm.
whatever way they could.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes even though they would not fully understand, but
Mm-hmm.
I think they just trusted that I would be okay
Okay.
if I did what I
Okay. Now let's look at the journey and the transition when you went to South Africa. You went to study.
did.
What did you go and study in South Africa?
No, I didn't go to study. I actually dropped out of the University of Zimbabwe where I was doing a BA honors in French
Mm-hmm.
and English literature and Portuguese. And then
Mm-hmm.
I got a job in South Africa and I thought, well, this is actually what I really want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm already getting paid doing it. So
Mm-hmm.
why not?
Okay. So when you went to South
Mhm.
Africa, what did you go? What was your mission?
To work. I was working already in musical theaters. I was touring around South Africa
Uh-huh.
and getting paid to sing, which is actually the one goal that I had. That was my ideal idea of success, to get
Mm-hmm.
paid doing exactly what I love to
What
do
you love doing.
and never feel like working. And that's what I've lived off since that time.
Mm-hmm. And how were you identified by these guys from South Africa? Did you apply for it, or somebody identified you, or
hmm
somebody recommended you, or
Somebody recommended me. A friend of mine was already working there. She lived there and
Mm-hmm.
she said, hey, my sister can sing as well. And then
Mm-hmm.
I I went to South Africa to audition. I went to do my auditions, and then they offered me the job.
Okay, Tina, most young people struggle with this issue of doing what they love passionately. We're having a discussion with some people and saying most students who actually go to university in Zimbabwe go to just do a program that the university has offered them, not what they're passionate about. How was it? How was it for you? Transitioning from you when you went to do French, Portuguese, and everything. Was that your passion, or you just went to do it because you thought it was just the whole system?
I actually really love languages. So I studied French in high school, and I did A-level French as well. And I always wanted to learn languages. So it was my plan B, but I think I was going to be a translator or an interpreter, which would have been great because it's something that I enjoy. I lived here. I speak fluent Spanish already. It's a thing that I've always been also gifted with. So yeah, I just kind of decided that would be my other job if I wasn't going to make it in the music.
Okay. Hola, gracias. That's all.
Gracias a ti.
Yeah, that's all. That's the only Spanish that I know. So now let's look at Tina.
But you know something. Some people don't know even one word, trust me.
Yeah. So now let's look at Tina when you're in South Africa. You're working and doing what you love. What were you doing in South Africa? The time you're in South Africa in terms of singing and arts and everything.
Okay, so I worked for the Barnyard Theatre. It's like a theater company that's owned by someone who had the theaters in different cities. So basically, they'd put together a show and there'd be 6 singers. It's like a 2-hour show, and then we go touring around the theaters, basically. So that's pretty much all I went to do there.
So when you sing, do you sing covers? Do you sing your own music? Do you sing your own songs? What is it all about?
So in the theater, this one was a show. It was like a South African show. So we're doing like versions of South African famous songs. That was the show that I did. Or they do like a Whitney Houston production, for example. And then here, sometimes I would sing covers when I go to weddings and I sing at events. I do a lot of corporate events and weddings. So there I do sing a few more covers because, people want to hear things that they know. But now as Tina Masawi, at my personal shows where it's my name on the thing, I'm doing only my original music. And so I do a little bit of everything, more or less.
So your time in South Africa, what were the lessons that you learned?
Hey, the Zimbabweans are nice people.
Okay.
Also just learning that the industry is very competitive. I think some of the best singers I ever worked with were from South Africa. I mean, the best vocalists, wow. Everyone was incredible, So I also learned to work on my craft, make it better, bigger, and I really looked up to a lot of the people that I worked with there. So those are some of the lessons that I learned.
One of the person I always used to say, I think she had one of the best voices, was Zahara.
Oh yes, I absolutely love her voice. Wow, incredible.
For me, she had one of the best voices I've enjoyed listening to.
Yes. Same.
So Tina, you're now into music. What type of music do you do? Do you do pop? Do you do Afro pop? Do you do jazz? Do you do R&B, dancehall? What type of music do you do?
So I do right now. My project is a mixture of Afro beats and R&B. Afro beats, Afro piano, R&B. And then, but I've sung blues. I was a blues singer for a very long time. I've toured all over Spain singing blues only. So yeah, there's just, but right now I'm mostly focusing on my own project, which is Tina Masawi.
Okay, so besides singing, do you do any other thing, production? Do you do, in terms of music?
Yes. Well, I've had to learn a little bit. So I compose a lot of my own music. I write my lyrics. I produce a little bit, but I'm not really great. So I have to pass it on to someone who knows what they're really doing. I play a little bit of bass guitar And yeah, I produce things for the project, you know, live sets, things like that, shows, you name it.
What does it take for you to write songs? Because I always find it fascinating how one comes up with lyrics, you know.
You know, it has to be something that you believe in, I feel, for it to be. I don't know. Sometimes I can just get inspired in any moment. You know, I can see something and it reminds me of something that I've lived. And then I draw inspiration from that. And then other times it's like I have to go to the studio and you know, we just vibe. I like to work with a lot of musicians that play real instruments. So we usually feed off of each other sometimes as well. And that really inspires me probably the most. I feel like other people's creativity is like, wow. So yeah, usually that's how it comes about.
Okay, so I'm talking to Tina Masawi. She's an artist, she's a musician, she's based in Spain, and I'm hosting it today on The Vault on Galaxy Radio and Radio Flora. So yeah, we just want to understand about what she's all about. So Tina, tell me something in terms of issues of copyright. It's one that I never really get to really understand, you know, but I've seen this whole copyright issues happening. When you write your lyrics, you understand, how then does an artist avoid this copyright? To say, no, you took my lyrics and everything. How does one do that?
The person who has the original copy of that thing is the person that usually owns it, right? And you have to usually put most of the things you do in writing when it comes to collaborations. And then also, if somebody does take your lyrics and you can prove it, then, you know, they should have asked at least for permission, I think, you know, because everyone has different conditions as to what you can use from their work. Some people don't mind, you know, but I feel like it's very disrespectful to just go and take people's things and without their consent at least, or just saying, hey, listen, I really like this. Can you just, I just think, you know, because it's someone else's art, it's their creativity. And I think it's just really not the best way to do things.
Okay, so let me maybe say this, Tina. There's a song from Whitney Houston, right? And you write your lyrics, and within writing your lyrics, you discover that there's 2 lines which are from Whitney Houston's song. Would that be seen as also copyright?
It depends what the context is. If the 2 lines that make the song, then yeah. But sometimes it could be a phrase, it can be a coincidence, not necessarily. And I think it has to be a little bit more than 2 lines, you know, for it to be something you can prove, because there's a lot of times when somebody can say, okay, maybe a line that is noticeable, for example, like "Hit Me Baby One More Time," you know that's Britney's song, right? It's even 1 line, it's not, it doesn't have to be 2 lines, but you know it's her song. So I think somebody can claim that. But if it's something like, I looked over the window, then I walked to the sea, you know, anyone could think of that. And then you'd have to figure out if it is someone's original writing, then yeah. But, you know, I think
anyone
artists need to talk between themselves.
Anyone else can still think about "Hit Me Baby One More Time." You get what I'm saying? I could be seated, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I'd be seated in Africa, then I come up with such lyrical content, you know, and there's another person across the ocean who's had the lyrics. So I've always find it this fascinating.
Exactly. Yeah. It's very but I mean the thing to avoid, the best way to avoid too many problems is, I think, just like people should just register their work when they've completed it.
Okay. So
you know, at least once you
Okay, no, go ahead.
So when no, I'm saying if you register your work, then it's you know, it's gonna be pretty hard for people to claim it's theirs when it's yours, you know.
Now let's talk about your success stories. Tell us this concert that you've participated in.
The one at the Plaza Monumental in Barcelona, right? Oh, it was great. I just got booked with my band to perform my own show. It's one of them. They used to do bullfighting in Catalonia, although it's banned here since the 90s. So they kind of preserve the place and they use it for 4 concerts.
Mhm.
And people like Bob Marley have performed there, like really
Mm.
big names. So it was really exciting for me to
Mhm.
also be there and,
Mm.
you know, singing songs with a bit of Shona in them, you know.
Mm.
So it's
Mm.
really, really nice.
Mhm. Mhm.
hmm
Okay. So what other concerts have you performed or participated in? Concerts or
I've
tours,
performed. Wow. I've performed so much. I've performed at the Olympic Stadium. I've
Mhm.
performed at the Grand Theatre Liceo in Barcelona as
Mm.
well. The Royal Theatre in Madrid.
Mm.
Festivals. I've done quite a few of
Mm.
those.
Mm.
Yeah,
So we just say,
so many shows.
okay. So we say just say many of your work has been around in Spain.
Right now, yes. For over the last, I would say 8 years, yes.
Mhm. Mhm. Have you done any collaborations with the most popular celebrities or artists? Or
Not
some of the
most
of
popular.
or some of them who've shared like the stage with?
Some of the people, oh my goodness. Well, wow, I've met so many people in the well, I've performed at Danny Carvajal's wedding, for example.
Mhm.
And I was at a wedding. But sometimes, you know, I can't really say all the people.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
But yeah,
No,
there's some
yeah. Yeah.
interesting people that I've worked with as well. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Definitely.
Mhm.
hmm
And for you as yeah.
No, I was saying, but then sometimes with me also in Spain, I don't know that many, like, I don't know somebody's famous until someone tells me.
Mhm.
So I could have been with, so yeah, and it can be anybody
Mhm.
at times.
Okay. And how is it for you being an African woman now
hmm
doing music in Spain? How do you feel? How do you think about it? You know, do you think you've been doing well? And how's been the Spanish community receiving your music and your
hmm
talent?
Wow, I think I've been doing absolutely amazing. I'm not going to lie. I'm very surprised. It's not something that I ever expected.
Mhm.
But wow, the reception has been great.
Mhm.
I mean, even on all my social media, you can see like they're actually streaming my music.
Mhm.
Spain is number 1 in
Mhm.
streaming my music, all of it, you know.
Mhm.
Um, and it's so wonderful that they are so open to know
Mhm.
something different. Like sometimes I don't even know what I'm singing about until I tell them, like, hey, the song's about this or whatever, because I'm singing in English and Shona, you know?
Mhm. Mhm.
And a lot of people here only speak Spanish, but they come
Mhm.
to the concerts, they buy
Mhm.
my tickets, they book
Mhm.
me for shows.
Mhm.
It's just amazing.
Mhm.
So amazing.
Mhm.
hmm
So Tina, I want you to talk to a woman, who's especially the young ladies, who are listening to you, who've got dreams, who've got hopes, who say, I want to achieve this in my life, and they're stuck. And you're given a platform to talk to them. What would be your word of
hmm
advice to them?
I'd say that they should just follow their gut and believe
Mm.
in themselves. If you think you've got something special you want to share, don't take
Mm.
that lightly. You know, I
Mm.
think it's even a message that comes from God. God creates you with these desires and these
Mm. Mm.
um and if you have something like you want to express, you should just go ahead and express it and not be scared,
Mm.
you know. And remember to live your life for you because everyone else is living their own life already.
Mm.
So you need to really look out for what you desire and what you want for yourself.
Okay. So I often hear this from a lot of people. They say, maybe Tina is saying so, but she was so privileged. She came from a family which is rich. She had so much exposure. But here's me. I don't have the exposure. I don't have this. What would you say to that person?
Wow, I didn't even come from a rich family,
Mm-hmm.
not at all. And I was always a keen reader. I liked to read, and I have a
Mm-hmm.
very overactive imagination. I wanted to go to these places I was reading about. I wanted to go to Paris
Mm-hmm.
because I read about it in a book, or
Mm-hmm.
I saw it in a film that inspired me. I wanted to see those places,
Mm-hmm.
and I just was very determined. And a lot of the time, I did everything by myself. I went to South Africa on my own. I
Mm-hmm.
came here on my own. I left my family at a young age
Mm-hmm.
to try and pursue these dreams. So
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter. I feel like And if you want something very much,
Mhm.
you'll give it your best shot.
Mhm.
You should at least do that. You owe it to yourself. You know, that's
Mhm.
what I think.
Mhm. So Tina, time is never a friend, right? So what I'm gonna ask you,
No.
what I'm gonna ask you to do, just want you to sing a piece, just a very short piece for us in Spanish.
Okay. Te quiero, pero no te aguanto. Emociona tanto de mis sábanas en tu retrato.
No, translate to us. What is that?
So that's actually my first song that I ever wrote in Spanish.
And what does that
Yeah.
mean?
It's talking about someone who's cold-hearted, basically. And I'm just calling them out for being cold-hearted.
Okay, so Tina, where can people listen to your music? Where can people follow you? Your socials?
Okay, so it's at Tina Masawi on every platform. Every platform. And then also you can listen to my music on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, whatever. Any platform is there. So yeah.
Okay.
So at Tina Masawi on everything.
Okay, so at Tina Masawi, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube,
Yes.
every other platform. That's where you can listen to Tina.
Every platform. Yes.
And then if you want to also watch this interview once again, yeah, if you go to my YouTube, Nyamz Escapades, you watch it on Nyamz Escapades. We'll also upload this interview that I'm having right here with Tina Masawi on Galaxy Radio and Radio Flora. Is the Vault. It happens every single Sunday where we talk to different people from different parts of the world who are doing amazing things. Tina, thank you so much for coming onto this platform.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for listening.
Okay, great, great, Tina. We'll catch up with you, and we'll be dropping more of your music on this great station.
Okay, catch up soon. Bye.
Cheers.